All right, let's dive right into this explainer. Today, we're unpacking a concept called craftsmanship as worship, the legacy of Bezalel and Aholiab. You know, for so many of us, it's almost second nature to just compartmentalize our lives, right? We toss our spiritual lives into one neat little box and our daily 9 to 5 grind into another. We tend to think that the work we do with our hands or the hours we spend typing away at our desks is just, well, a way to pay the bills. We assume the real meaningful stuff happens somewhere else entirely. But the source material we're digging into today, it completely shatters that divide. So, I want to pose a question straight to you. What if your greatest talent isn't just a skill, but an actual calling from God? Seriously, just think about that for a second. It's the kind of question that reframes literally everything. It forces us to look at our daily work, our natural abilities, our hobbies, and our professions through a completely different lens. It really challenges us to spot the divine potential in those everyday tasks we so often take for granted. Section 1. The misconception of calling, rethinking biblical heroes. This perfectly sets up our core problem, because when we picture spiritual heroes, who usually comes to mind? We typically imagine people who command armies, part seas, or perform these spectacular, earth-shattering miracles. We think of Moses splitting the Red Sea, David taking down Goliath, or Elijah calling fire down from the sky. We've basically been conditioned to associate divine purpose with really loud, highly visible leadership. And we can see an exact divide here. On one side, we have those traditional heroes we just mentioned: kings, prophets, warriors, and apostles. These are the highly visible figures preaching behind pulpits or leading entire nations. But then, contrast them with the hidden heroes of Scripture: the craftsmen, the artisans, the builders. These are the folks whose names almost never make it into a Sunday sermon, people who just simply worked with their hands. Yet their lives carry a deeply powerful message for anyone who's ever wondered if their own everyday talents actually matter. Moving on to Section 2, meet Bezalel and Aholiab, the first spirit-filled artisans. Let's look at a historical case study to see how this all builds. I want to introduce you to Bezalel and Aholiab, two seemingly ordinary craftsmen who were chosen for a truly incredible task. You see, after delivering Israel from Egypt, God instructed Moses to build the tabernacle. And this wasn't just any ordinary tent. It was a highly sacred place where his people would worship him. Because of that, every single intricate detail mattered immensely. The curtains, the furniture, the golden lampstand, the Ark of the Covenant, the priestly garments, the whole shebang had to reflect glory and holiness. And then, in Exodus 31, God makes this absolutely incredible statement. He says, "See, I have chosen Bezalel, and I have filled him with the Spirit of God, with wisdom, with understanding, with knowledge, and with all kinds of skills." I really want to emphasize just how extraordinary this is. The very first person in the entire Bible explicitly described as being filled with God's Spirit wasn't selected because he was a king, or a powerful prophet, or some great military commander. He was an artist. Just let that profound truth sink in for a moment. God empowered a person simply to design, to carve, to engrave, and to weave. He didn't ask him to lead an army into battle. He empowered him to create something beautiful. God didn't just put out a hiring hall for skilled workers. He personally chose them. This wasn't merely construction, you guys. It was pure worship, expressed entirely through craftsmanship. Section 3, creativity reflects the Creator, the divine blueprint. The absolutely crucial point to grasp here is that God highly values creativity. And why is that? Well, because the Bible begins not with a list of rules and laws, but with the act of creation itself. I mean, the very first words of Scripture are, "In the beginning, God created." The entire divine blueprint of the universe kicks off with imagination. Everything beautiful in this world is a direct reflection of the creativity of its maker. Just think about the sheer evidence of that divine imagination all around us: the vibrant colors of a sunrise, the intricate patterns on a butterfly's wings, the powerful rhythm of the ocean, the staggering complexity of the stars, the emotional beauty of music, the mathematical elegance of architecture. Human creativity is this incredible gift that directly echoes the ultimate creator. So what does that mean for you? It means your ability to build a piece of furniture, design a new piece of software, or capture a beautiful photograph is fundamentally, deeply connected to the divine. Which leads us to Section 4, visibility versus faithfulness, redefining success. And this brings us to a major conflict we face in our modern lives today. We desperately need to redefine what success actually looks like. In today's world, it's just incredibly easy to compare ourselves to others, isn't it? We're conditioned by social media to constantly chase applause and validation. We're essentially taught that our work only matters if millions of people notice it, like it, and give us credit for it. Modern success demands followers, views, promotions, fame, and endless visibility. But heaven's value, that demands faithfulness, hidden excellence, integrity, and unseen sacrifice. Think back to Bezalel and Aholiab. They didn't just settle for good enough. Every single piece of gold was carefully, painstakingly shaped. Yet much of their finest work was hidden away deep inside the tabernacle, with practically zero public applause. People admired the sanctuary as a whole, sure, but few probably remembered the specific craftsman who built it. Yet God remembered. He preserved their names for thousands of years because he values faithful excellence far more than fleeting fame. Moving to Section 5, the legacy of mentorship, multiplying knowledge. You see, Bezalel didn't work alone. God intentionally appointed Aholiab to collaborate and to teach. This ensured that immense giftedness was paired with deep humility, rather than some ego-driven quest for personal glory. Their skills pointed people toward God, not toward themselves. The masterpiece was never meant to draw attention to the hands that made it. And what's more, they didn't hoard all their specialized knowledge, they actively multiplied it. Because true greatness is not measured by what you can accomplish all by yourself, but by how many others you equip to succeed. By passing on their expertise to other skilled workers, these craftsmen created a legacy and an influence that far outlived their own physical handiwork. A mentor leaves a lasting legacy. A teacher creates generations of impact. When knowledge is shared, it transforms into an influence that outlives us all. Section 6, the sacred ordinary, your vocation as worship. Now, bringing this historical truth right into your modern life today, we have to completely break down that false wall between secular tasks and spiritual significance. Just imagine for a second what our communities would look like if every single profession became an opportunity to honor God. Architects designing spaces that actively inspire peace, business owners leading with absolute honesty, writers sharing words that heal and uplift. Think about your own daily tasks: creating complex spreadsheets, sculpting a piece of art, repairing dirty engines, raising children, preparing the evening meal, writing lines of code, teaching young minds. Every single one of these everyday professions becomes a sacred act of worship when it's surrendered to God and executed with real excellence. Whether you are a mechanic, a nurse, a designer, or you're faithfully caring for your family at home, your work directly reflects God's character when it's done with love and integrity. The world's view divides life strictly into these two camps, the sacred and the ordinary realms. But in God's view, ordinary work actually becomes sacred service. Your offices literally become mission fields. Your workshop, your classroom, your studio, they are places of testimony and worship the moment you choose excellence over convenience. When your heart truly belongs to Him, there's no such thing as secular work anymore. Which brings us to a silent question that so many ordinary, unacknowledged workers carry heavily in their hearts. Maybe you've spent years quietly doing your work with very little recognition. Maybe no one ever applauds your effort or even notices the countless, unseen hours you invest day in and day out. And you sit there and you ask yourself, does my work really matter to God? Yes, it absolutely does. Look, if God cared about embroidery, woodworking, and architecture enough to explicitly fill people with His Spirit for those very specific tasks, He for sure cares about the work you're doing today. He sees every unseen sacrifice. He notices every honest day's work. So whatever gift has been placed within you, please do not dismiss it as ordinary. Develop it, pursue excellence with it, serve others with it. I want to leave you with this final provocative thought. If the Creator of the universe delights in your everyday craftsmanship, what masterpiece will you build with your hidden talents tomorrow?